Let's pay attention. Good morning, everyone. Glad to see our second group of seniors here this morning, and you should be ecstatic. I can't feel the excitement yet, but we should be. I got people talking about it was long and I'm sleepy. We talking about your future. I got 3 degrees. I got a good job. So this should be vitally important to you, if no one else. So that's why I just don't accept we're going to sit in the back and we want to goof off and play. I told the first group, you guys are seniors. You should have a senior mindset. If you still have a junior mindset, something's wrong. If you have a sophomore mindset, something's wrong. And a couple of you that still had a freshman mindset, you're in the wrong place. I've seen you guys, 90% of you, for 4 years. Playtime is over. You have real life getting ready to start. I hear people all the time, I'm grown. I'm almost grown. Well, when you're grown, you have to be ready to pay bills, take care of your family, pay car note, insurance. And when people tell me, I pay my bills, and I ask them what, they say, cell phone? No, that's not grown. That's not grown. I put gas in my car. When you put gas in 2, 3 cars, then you're grown. But you got to get there. And the only way you get there is you have a senior mindset and you realize this is your last year before you actually are out there in the real world. Be careful where you sit, because we're serious. It's a senior mindset. Front row empty. Why? Because we just want to sit with our buddies and play. But guess what? Your buddies going to start falling off here pretty soon. I don't hardly have any of my buddies I used to run around with. Because once you start doing well, if their friend is not, it's hard to hang with them. You go to college, you start wanting to talk about all the great things you learned in school and your buddy is stuck at home, hard to be friends anymore. But that's reality. And so I need you to have a senior mindset, but some of you don't. Some of y'all want to, in a few minutes, going to probably check out on me and go to sleep. But you're going to be the same people. Come May, somebody's going to say, where are you going to school? And it's nothing worse. That's why I don't even ask seniors when we get to May. Because it hurts their feelings if they don't have an answer. If they can't say, oh, Mr. Brisbane, I'm already accepted. I'm going to Tennessee State. Or I'm going to Austin Peay. It hurts their feelings. And I don't want you to be in that boat. So I'm fussing at you in a sense, but I'm not. I just want to be your conscience. And so it is the time to be serious. We need a senior mindset. This is our last year in high school. Everything we've been preparing for is to get us to this point so we can make choices, so we can set ourselves up for life. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm not going to be playing around. I'm not going to be goofing off. Because if you don't be serious, you set yourself up for failure. And I told the last group, I'm going to tell you because it's the truth. This is the smartest group of seniors we've had since I've been here. It's my 7th year at Northside. This is the strongest group of seniors we've had, academically, socially, with what you guys are doing. Smartest group of seniors. Don't mean you guys are going to be the most successful, because that depends on what you do. But you are set up where you can. I guarantee you, when we take the picture this year of our seniors who have a 21 and up, be the biggest picture we've ever had. You're set for that. But you have to take those tools now and put them into action. Number 1, we're going to talk about Tennessee Promise and We have Ms. Mitchell here, Ms. Laura here to talk to us about that, so she's gonna give you a full rundown, but it's free money. Ms. Smith told me we're up to 26% of our seniors. That's terrible. Not even gonna be happy about that. We're at 26% of our seniors have signed up for free money. You're gonna find out it takes you 30 minutes. You should not let today go by without signing up. I don't care where you're gonna go to school. We don't know. Who knew it was gonna be a pandemic? Most of my seniors who were off in college, they're at home right now because their parents are like, I'm not paying $10,000 for you to do college online in my living room. So they wish they had signed up for Tennessee Promise because they could go to Jackson State and get paid, get it paid for. So we're gonna make sure that we get that done. There's no reason we're at 26%. If I told you, all I need is 30 minutes of your time and I'm gonna give you $4,000, y'all will be knocking each other over to get up here. And that's what Tennessee Promise is. It's about $4,000 something. That all you have to do is take about 30 minutes online, just move over from Instagram and go and complete it. Second thing is, we gotta get serious. Most of you guys are set. Most of our seniors come December, you guys are done with your classes. A few of you, if you don't get something started differently, next December you won't be finished with your classes. But there's no excuse for that. I started telling you this freshman year. So we have to get serious and make sure we're doing that. Raise your hand if you're going to college or some school after high school. Raise it high so I can see. All right. That's great. That's good. Don't have to. Don't raise your hand if you're not, because some of us are going to go to work. I have a friend. He does great. Got a house, 3 or 4 cars. Never went to school after high school, but he went to work. He moved up and he's at one of these factories making good money. But he was focused. But if you're going to school, now, how many of you have applied to a school? Truthfully, that's about 1/3 of the people who are going to school. We're not focused. Ms. Smith has been sending you emails and text messages by the hundreds. This is prime time to apply. It's one thing to say you're going to school, it's another thing to actually be doing something about it. So, my challenge to all seniors, if you raised your hand and you said, I'm going to school, I want to go to a college, trade school, technical school, somewhere after high school. You have fall break to get applied somewhere. Because until you actually do something, I had a college professor told me, until I write it down, it's not the truth. It's a fairy tale. Till you actually do something, you're not going to school yet. So this is college application season. I need everybody that's serious about going to school to at least apply to the first one. Because there's something that happens when you get that first letter in the mail and they say, you're accepted. Even if it's a school you don't want to go to, I don't care if it's Timbuktu, you never heard of it. It's a feeling when they say, you can come. It gives you momentum. It gives you excitement. It says, you know what, I got 1, I'm gonna get 2. I'm gonna get 3. I'm gonna get 15. And then you have choices. And this is the time to do it. There are still a few schools, I hope, that will allow you to apply for free. No money. I know in my household, we probably up to about 20. We can't go to all those schools, but why not apply and see? Because if they talk right, and they say, hey, we'll pay you to come, you may not like it. But that's where we're gonna go. Because you can take an education from anywhere and turn it into a great career. Don't have to be at a big SEC school. Doesn't have to be at, you've grown up always wanting to be at UT, and if I can't get in UT, I'm not. No. I didn't go to an SEC school. I had no knowledge of the college I went to until they sent me a letter and said, you could come here for free. And it was the greatest experience of my life, and it changed my life. But if I would have been sitting there thinking, well, no, I want to go to North Carolina, I'm not going anywhere, then I would be sitting somewhere doing something I don't want to do. But it is senior focused time. Playtime is up. And you can start seeing people that don't have that senior focus. They'll just stick out like a sore thumb. They're busy playing. They're busy goofing off. They're talking about where we're going to hang out. And you're talking about how do I get in school? So it is time. You got people here to help you. And all you got to do is put forth the effort. So today we're going to talk about it. We're going to get focused. We're going to have a great senior year. It's going to go by quick. But if you guys don't put in the work, you will be disappointed, even though you are the most talented group that we've had. And I'm not, I know that we are in the middle of a pandemic and there's a lot of stuff going on. So we can make excuses, but you can't get it back. Nobody's going to tell you in 5 years, that's okay. You were during the pandemic, so we'll just let you redo it. They're not going to do it. It's time right now. So, glad to see you. I haven't been able to fuss at most of you guys because you are virtual or cyber. Some of you hear my announcements, but it's not like looking at you and being able to get eye contact. So I may not get it again, but I do not want to get to May and I have students who are embarrassed to tell them what they're doing. I want you to be able to look at the person in the face and say, oh, I'm accepted at 5 schools. I'm just deciding on which one I want to go to. Or I have 3 schools that are going to pay me to go. I don't know, I'm going to go see them, see who I like. Get this, and I'm set. I'm about to make $15, $20 an hour. Those are the answers you want to have at the end of this year. You do not want to have the answer of, I don't know, I didn't do that Tennessee Promise. Didn't nobody tell me. That's not the answer. All right, so enough of that. Ms. Smith, we're going to let you come up and get them started. We have a couple of different PowerPoints we're going to go through. There's vital information. You need to be paying attention. Stay off your phone unless you're taking pictures of the slideshow that's up here. All right.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kendra Smith, your 12th grade counselor. I'm glad you guys are here today. We know that you are working on your classes from home, but we're glad to see you in person for today. We're going to be talking about some information for senior year, some general information, some details about graduation and all the things you have to look forward to. We'll also hear from our TSAC representative, Ms. Lori Mitchum, about some financial aid matters, Tennessee Promise, and the FAFSA. We'll just jump right in. First and foremost, the key to senior year is being connected and having all the pieces of communication in place. If you're not already on the senior text group, I would encourage you to join. The slide that you see here gives information for your parents. We'll be sending a recording of this video out to them. So we want all of our parents to join the text group and of course all of our seniors. Ms. Lanier, will you skip to the next slide so that they can see how they would join? If you are a senior, if you are graduating this year, you need to make sure that you are on our text group to ensure that you get all the information you need. I'll send out updates about scholarships, college visits, which could be in person or virtually this year, community service opportunities, graduation details, senior pictures, all those things that are relevant to you as a graduating senior. So if you've not already joined, please do so. I send out mass messages, but you can always reply back and it just comes to me. So in that sense, we can communicate if you have something specific or individual that we need to discuss or work through, please feel free to reach out. It's a great communication tool and it gives you access to questions and answers that you may need even if you're not at our school every day. So this information is here for you. It tells you how to join. If you don't have your phone with you or you're too focused to pull it out and work on that right now, that's fine. This information is also printed in your packet that you have, so you can take that home and also please share with your parents so that they can join the parent side as well. Our graduation ceremony, we are still waiting on the specific date and time to be confirmed, but we will be graduating the last week of school at the Omen Arena. So that is something to look forward to. As those details are firmed up, I'll be sure and send that out on the text group so that you will know exactly how to plan and what to be ready for. Many of our families will want to have guests from out of town, so of course we will share that information with you as soon as it's readily available so that you can begin planning for this once-in-a-lifetime event. You have a sheet in your folder that gives you the specifics of our graduation requirements. Our district has aligned with the requirements from the state of Tennessee to ensure that all of our students are ready to go at graduation time. The credits that are listed are the specific ones that you need. You need 22 credits for graduation. In your folder, you'll also see that you should have a copy of your transcript. This is your personalized transcript that includes information from the classes that you've taken, the grades that you've earned. You'll see your GPA, your class rank, all of those things, and also a graduation checklist. I go through each senior's transcript to ensure that you are on track for graduation and scheduled in any classes that you would need to finish out the remaining graduation requirements. So you would see both of those sheets in your folder. Please feel free to review that with a fine-tooth comb. If you see anything that we need to discuss, if you see anything that looks like we need to go back and dig a little deeper to make sure it's all correct, let me know. It's rare, but sometimes something like that would pop up. Please communicate with me if you see anything we need to look at there. So it's not just 22 random credits that you need, but 22 specific ones from certain subject areas. It's on the slide behind me. It's also on a flyer in your packet. So if you have specific questions about how those requirements match with what you've had, please feel free to let me know. A few other notes on graduation. We have our graduation supply company, Balfour, that we work very closely with. They will be visiting at a later date to share the details of all the options that are available for our seniors. They supply our cap and gowns, and they also handle orders for optional items such as t-shirts and hoodies and all the class of 2021 gear that our seniors like to wear. So again, they will be coming soon to share details about how to begin placing orders for cap and gowns, and then of course those optional items as well. They also have a website, balfour.com, if you'd like to go ahead and take a look at some of the products they have available. They also do class rings and Letterman jackets, and those are still available for seniors to order. We do have some packets for those items in the counselor's office. So Balfour is the group that we work with there. You have a sheet in your packet, I think it's yellow, I think it's on the back of your graduation requirement sheet, that lists all the different recognitions and honors that we promote for graduation. So these would be different items that you may be eligible for that would allow you to receive a cord or a medal or a special tassel to wear at graduation. So please go ahead and start reviewing that list. And if you see, you may find things that you're already eligible for, or perhaps you may see something that you could strive for to become eligible as a goal for graduation. Our seniors love being decked out, not just in their cap and gown, but in all the different adornments and regalia that come along with some of those special recognitions. And we want to make sure that you get all the mentions possible for all the great things that you've done. There are some that are based on academics, GPA, test score, accomplishments, and a couple that have a community service component. I'll skip to community service since I just mentioned that, even though it's last on our little slide. There are no community service hours required for graduation. You can graduate with 0 community service hours. But not only is it a nice thing to do, it looks nice on your college applications, on your scholarship applications, and some of those special recognitions have a community service component. So some of those you would only be eligible for if you had completed community service. So keep that in mind. We do have several opportunities that will be coming up through the fall. And if that's something that you're interested in, or if that's something that will help you to be eligible for one of those awards, make sure that you're actively involved. Now, if you are planning to use Tennessee Promise, and we still want all of our students to remain eligible, even if that is just a backup plan at this point, you would be required 8 hours of community service to meet Tennessee Promise eligibility. I skipped around a little bit, but the last item on that slide, sorry, Ms. Lanier, there was one other item I had skipped, project graduation. We typically get a lot of questions about that at our senior meeting. Project graduation is not a school-sponsored event, but if there are any parents that would be interested in putting together an event like that for our seniors closer to graduation, I would encourage those parents to contact me. I can connect the group and let the parents begin to plan something fun for the seniors. All right, next we'll talk about ACT. Most of you were on campus one day last week for the ACT. Congratulations. That also checks a box for your graduation requirements. In order to graduate with a regular high school diploma, you must have an ACT score on file. If you miss the ACT, we will still make sure that you have the opportunity to test. We have vouchers available where you can continue to sign up for the test through the fall or the spring. If you have already tested but are ready to test again, you are welcome to let me know and I can issue you your voucher code. I have those available now. You would simply need to just send me a message, email or text would be just fine, and let me know that you're ready to register and I can send you your voucher. Monday is the deadline to sign up for any of the remaining October tests. So if you'd like to test on a Saturday in October, there are several dates available, and you would have up until Monday to complete that registration. So you could let me know, and I could get you your voucher for October. We also have many seniors that I expect will test in December. Those registrations are open now online, so if you plan to test in December, you could go ahead and register now. So again, just communicate with me. Text or email is great. And I can get you the voucher code so that you can test again. We also have, I'll say one more thing about ACT, we also have a fee waiver option. So I have a chart that I can provide for you. You actually received a copy of it with your orientation packet that you received right at the beginning of school. There's a chart if you are eligible based on household income and household size. You may be eligible for a fee waiver for ACT if you wanted to take the test a couple of additional times. You can reference that form. If you need another copy, just let me know and I would be glad to send you one. The next slide, I won't dig too deep into financial aid because Ms. Lori is here and she will do so. But just know that today is the day that the FAFSA application has opened. The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid, FAFSA for short, even though it's still kind of a word that's hard to say as an abbreviation. But it has opened today. Any student that is college bound, whether it be trade school, 2-year, 4-year college, you need to complete the FAFSA. There are many funds that are tied specifically to that one application, and it covers you in several different ways. The next slide will give a little bit more detail on that. The FAFSA application, and the Tennessee Promise. So there are several different pots of money that you could put yourself in the eligibility running for by completing the FAFSA. You would be using the 2019 tax return from either you and or your parents for that financial piece. We'll hear more on that later. You'll also hear a little bit more about Tennessee Scholarship, Tennessee Promise Scholarship. I know we've talked a little bit about that this morning. Our numbers are going up, but slowly. So if you have not yet completed the Tennessee Promise, I would encourage you to do so immediately. I actually sent an email to all of your student accounts yesterday with an instruction guide that tells you step by step how to complete that application. If you need help with it, please know that I'm glad to help you. I will be glad to set up a time where we can either chat on the phone or FaceTime, or if you come to school, I'll be glad to help you in person. If you need help with the application, just know that you've got it. All you have to do is ask. The step-by-step directions should walk you through it pretty easily, but I've done it enough at this point, I know that it's not always simple. So if I can help, just please know that I will. I'll be glad to help you. There are some deadlines to remember. November 2nd is the application deadline. They do not play around with this deadline. It is pretty hard and pretty fast that if you do not complete your application by that date, you will not be eligible. End of story. So make sure you get your application in by that date. Moving forward, there are some other deadlines. I'll remind you of all those deadlines as they're approaching. The main one to remember right now is that November 2nd application deadline. Each senior gets 2 college days. It may look a little bit different for you guys because you're not here on our campus every day. But if you decide you want to go visit a campus, see a college, find out what they're all about, see how you might fit in there, you do have the opportunity to use 2 college days where you would not be counted absent from your classes. It would be considered excused, school-related, and not count towards absence totals. If you would like to take advantage of that opportunity, what you would do would be to schedule a visit with the college. That would be something you would do on your own. You would attend the tour and then make sure that the school provides you, the college, provides you with a letter indicating that you were there on that particular date. You would bring the letter back to the counselor's office and then we take care of coding things on your attendance. A lot of colleges are offering virtual visits now. So if you are not prepared to go to a campus or if they are not offering in-person tours, you could also do virtual tours and not need to use college days. But if you see that it would pull you from your classes because you are traveling or are attending in person somewhere, this is a way that you can ensure it doesn't jeopardize your attendance. But the key piece is making sure that you get the letter from the college when you're there for a visit to ensure that we have the documentation that we need to code your attendance. So please feel free to use those. You have 2. A lot of pictures going on, but I think a lot of seniors have not yet taken their pictures. If you have not yet taken your senior pictures, we work with Red Art as our photography studio. They have a website and you are welcome to jot that down. I'll also send it out on the text group again. They have some dates later in October where they can still take senior pictures for you. So if you have not yet done that, please do so to appear in the yearbook. This is our exclusive photographer that we work with for the yearbook drape and tux pictures for seniors. So if you need to still book, they do have dates available later in October. And here's my contact information. If you need anything, please let me know. Many of you are good about sending an email or a text, and that's great. Please continue to do so anytime you need anything. I am here for you. This year is very different. Even as a senior, it's all new to you, I realize, but as a virtual senior, as a cyber school senior, through a pandemic, it's different for everybody. So we will work on things together and just know that you've got support here at school. One other thing I'll tell you about before I introduce our next speaker. In your folder, you will have a little blue packet. Should be on the right side of your folder in the front. I would like for this part to be returned to me. What date did we decide? The 16th. Next Friday, the Friday after we return from fall break is Friday the 16th. By that date, I'd like to have this returned. You would want to take this home. There's a spot for your parents to sign to ensure that they've had an opportunity to review your transcript and your credits, and if they have questions, my contact information is there as well. But I would like for that to happen. There's a signature spot for your parents to sign off on that. There's also a couple sheets that our yearbook staff will use to create their mentions and recognitions in the yearbook as far as what clubs and sports and organizations you have been involved in throughout your time at Northside. So please complete that as well. There may be a couple sheets that individuals have that I may need just something signed, so I would have included that there for you as well. So please return those to the counselor's office by Friday the 16th. I'll send out a reminder, but please try to keep that date in your head. All right, we're getting ready to take a quick dive into financial aid and scholarships. We have with us today from the TSAC organization, which is the Tennessee Student Assistance Corporation, our outreach specialist, Ms. Lori Mitchum.
I'm so happy to be here. I told the earlier group, I haven't been anywhere since March 6th, and it's so nice to see everyone. We've been doing these presentations using virtual methods like WebEx, and it's just not the same. I like to see the students. I like to be encouraging. I want you all to go to college. And some of you are probably sitting there saying, listen, this school is one of my favorite. This is the only school where I see a principal come in and talk to their students. You should really be happy because you have Mr. Bridgeton, you have Ms. Kendra, you have counselors, you have all your other counselors, your whole counselor staff there to help you. And it just inspires me when I come here. So I really want you to know how lucky you are to have them in your corner. And you have me as your outreach specialist because I want you to go to college. And the worst thing you can do is sit here and say, college isn't for me. I don't think I could make college. Because my daughter was told that very same thing. They told her that she would never make it through college. Even her own sister said that to her. And today she is a safety manager, has a master's degree in Alabama. So everybody can go to college, everybody can get a degree and work and do what you want to do. Be happy when you go to work. I asked them today if they like going to work every day because that's their life work. My life work, I worked in financial aid for over 30 years. And now I'm an outreach specialist and I love going to work. I love to talk to students and I know that they do too. So you want to pick something that you're going to be happy with every single day that you go to work. So we're going to get started. We talked about the ACT, so I'm not going to talk much about that. We've talked about filling out college applications. Make sure you get that done soon because you want to get on their mailing list because they're going to be sending you important information. You want to complete the Tennessee Promise and I'm going to go over those steps with you. You want to complete the FAFSA, I'll cover that. The only thing I want to cover on this slide is scholarships. Now's the time to be looking for scholarships. So you want to talk to your parents to see if their company offers scholarships, your churches, your banks, the electric company, Walmart. There's so many just in your community that you need to research and find out. If you have a special thing that you like to do and you're really good at, like bird calling, they have scholarships for that. So start looking for those. And then in the spring, Ms. Kendra, she is going to be sending you so many emails, so many opportunities. Please fill out every single one that you qualify for. You may only get one scholarship. It might only be $500, but that $500 will pay part of your books. Will reduce the cost of what you'll have to pay out of pocket. Next. FAFSA. FAFSA is hard. I think it's really easy. I do 1,000 a year probably, but for you, it's going to be hard. So it takes a lot of time and work, and you have to. The hardest part I think is getting your parents to come with you to help fill out the FAFSA. That's the hardest part. But the second hardest part is the FSA ID. I'm going to cover that. That to me is the hardest part. But the FAFSA, you have two ways. You can go in and do it on web. You can do it on your phone. You can go download the app, My Student Aid, and complete the FAFSA right there. Again, as Ms. Kinder said, it opened up today. If I come and help you, we're going to do it on a computer because I can't see it's too small for your phone. But you might want to go ahead and look at it and start it. You can save it. Anything you have trouble with, you can contact me. Or when I come on your campus again to help, you can come and see me. We can finish up your FAFSA. Next. There's 2 steps to the FAFSA, as I already indicated, the FSA ID. I'm gonna leave these forms here with your counselor, Ms. Kendra. Pick one up if you need it. This is so you can write down your answers, because you only use this once a year. You're gonna forget. So write down all your answers, so if we need to reset your password, we can. So both you and your parent need an FSA ID. So when you fill out yours and you got your parents next to you, they're gonna say, hey, just put my email or my phone number so they contact me. Please don't do that, because your social, your email, and your phone number are only one per person. So if someone else uses it, they can't use it for themselves. So make sure you use your own email, your own phone number, and make sure you have your social security card, because if you mess up the social security number on your FAFSA, it's hard to change. Not impossible, I will help you, but it is sometimes very hard. So we wanna make sure we get it right the first time. Also, on your email, please don't use your school email. When you graduate, it gets deleted, and next fall, when you're filling out the FAFSA again for your 2nd year of college, and you can't remember that password, we're gonna need to reset it, either by phone or email. So create an email like Yahoo or Gmail. And please, if you create, I never knew this happened, but someone told me last year, if you can't remember your password to your email and you create a new one, and I guess that goes on a lot, make sure you go back to your FSA ID and update it, because we need that email if we have to reset that password. Next, on the FAFSA application, we're gonna need your student demographics. You all know your address, what school you wanna go to. You can list up to 10 colleges that you're interested in. We need your parent demographic and financial information, and then we need your financial information. And if you didn't work, that's okay, you just put 0. So everything is just right, simple, you just go from block to block to block. But again, I'll be here to help if you need help. Next. FAFSA checklist. We want 100% participation. 100%. And why? Because some of you are saying, I'm going to UT Martin, I'm going to UT Knoxville, I'm going to Austin P. I heard your principal say someone's going to Austin P. Things change. Whoever thought in March that we would have a pandemic and schools would be shutting down and we would be doing virtual? Whoever thought that? And so when that happened, students changed their mind. Some students decide to go closer to home. And if you don't complete that Tennessee Promise application and all the steps, and you decide then to go to community college, who's gonna pay the bill? You will, your parents will. So it's very important to fill out the information for Tennessee Promise. I'm only giving you opportunity so you have choices. So make sure you fill this out. It takes 30 minutes for the first 3 parts, then the 8 hours community service. So, well, I got ahead of myself. Sorry. So we're going to go back up. So on the checklist, if your parents don't have a social security number, then you will just use all zeros. Do you want to skip the driver's license? Sorry, got a little ahead of myself. Again, we're going to use 2019 tax return. We need the address that's on that tax return. Just take a picture of it. Want your mom and dad's tax return, or if you just have mom and dad that you live with, take a picture of their tax return, just the address. If you work, take a picture of the address that's on your 2019 tax return. And I know you're all sitting here telling me, well, I know my address. I know my address too. But what's important is what was on the tax return. It has to be spelled exactly the same. And last, if you have a savings account or checking account, bring that with you. Next. Student dependency. The only thing I want to cover are the last 2, legal guardianship. If you have a legal guardian and you have those court documents, you don't have to bring them to me. You'll have to submit them to your college. So make sure you bring them. The next is homeless. If your high school has marked you as potential homeless, please see Ms. Kendra and she can give you a letter for your institution. You need both of those. If you mark yes to both of those or to one of those, then that makes you independent. You don't need parental information. You cannot put grandparents on the FAFSA. You cannot put anyone on the FAFSA but your parents. And your parents could be mom and dad. They could be mom and stepdad. It could be mom and stepdad, dad and stepmom. The only thing I wanna say about the rest, they should all say no, especially the master and doctorate degree. I get students all the time that mark yes on that. That makes you eligible for any type of free aid, so don't put yes there. The only way you can get a master or doctorate degree is if you already went to college for 4 years and got another degree. Next. Okay, you're gonna complete the FAFSA every single year. So every year you're gonna put on your calendar, every October 1st, do the FAFSA. When I worked in financial aid, I had students come to me and tell me, oh, my schedule was purged, I don't have my financial aid, I don't know what happened, and I looked it up and they hadn't even done the FAFSA. So just remember to do this every single year you're in school and mark it on your calendar. Next. Reasons for the FAFSA, because we want to get all the free money that we can. All the free money. Because if you have any left over, you get some of that money back to help you with your gas, clothing, books. So we want to get all the free money we can. So that's one of the reasons we're going to do the FAFSA. And because your college requires it. Not every college will, but some do, so we want to get that done. Next. So we're going to talk about the different types of opportunities, colleges. So the first one is TCAT. You have 27 TCATs. You have TCAT Paris, it's right here. Or no, I'm sorry, TCAT Jackson, it's right here by you. You might go to TCAT Memphis. So you want to look at the opportunities there, and you want to pick one that you will enjoy for the rest of your life, like welding, cosmetology. I always wanted to learn cooking, but I would like to learn robotics. I know that robotics is a big thing at Tyson. I went to an event at Humboldt High School, and they had the Tyson director there, or manager, and he was saying how they needed people for robotics. So there's so many opportunities. So TCAT is a hands-on institution. You go there. Except for this year, you might have a little virtual, but anyway, you go on to hands-on, so you learn. So when you get ready to get a job and you go to your first job, you already know how to do everything because you've been doing it at the TCAT. So what kind of aid is available for your TCAT? Next. Pell Grant. Where do you get the Pell Grant? That comes from your FAFSA, based on the information that you put on your FAFSA. TSAA, if you're EFC, which is your expected family contribution, that's what number you get when you complete the FAFSA. That tells me what you're eligible for. Then you may qualify for TSAA. That's an additional $333 a trimester. TCAT is trimester. So all your aid is divided by 3. Next one, Wilder Navy. How do you earn Wilder Navy? You just complete the FAFSA and you qualify. And last, Tennessee Promise. Tennessee Promise, the amount is different for everyone because it's a last dollar scholarship. And I'm going to explain that to you here in just a second. Next. Community colleges. There are 13 community colleges. You have one right here in your back door. So Jackson State Community College, how nice is that? And some people have to travel at least 30, 45 minutes to an hour to get to a community college. So you're very lucky to have both a TCAT close by and a community college. So you would get an associate degree. That community college is usually 2 years or 3 years, depending on what you are majoring in. You usually go to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday. You may go every day if you have a split schedule. So it's a great opportunity. You can take nursing, criminal justice. Those are the 2 most I see that students enroll in. Next. So what kind of aid can you receive? Pell Grant again, that's the FAFSA. Pell Grant is free money, you don't pay that back. You can get TSAA if your EFC is $3,500 below, but look at the amount. Now you're up to $650 a semester. Hope Scholarship, you notice that it's blue. That means it's a merit scholarship. How do you earn that? You just need to earn a 21 or higher on the ACT, or have a 3.0 or higher in high school when you graduate. And you can get Hope Scholarship. That's $1,500 a semester. That almost pays your tuition at a community college. And last, Tennessee Promise. Okay, I think the next slide is Tennessee Promise. I already gave you a lot of information. So we're just going to cover what you need to qualify for Tennessee Promise. You need to go and complete the application. I think I heard, 26%? Remember, I told you earlier we want 100%. So if you're one of the 26%, yay. If you're not, please go out and complete that application. I'm telling you, November 3rd or 2nd will be really hard to, it'll come here so fast because you got ball games, you got activities, you have all your homework. I don't know if you go to class here at all. Are they all virtual? So you have all that homework and all that school stuff that you need to be doing. It'll be here. I can't hardly believe it's already October 1st. So get that done because November 2nd will be here quick. Next, the FAFSA opened up today. So you can go out and start doing your FSA ID and start working on that FAFSA. We'll have FAFSA workshops here. So we want you to sign up and bring your parents and we can knock that out in 30 minutes. Next is the mandatory meeting. That is a requirement. Do not miss that mandatory meeting. There is no makeup. Once we have that date, please put that on your calendar. And if you work, please let your boss know that you need that day off. You do not want to miss that. Sometimes, is it during the school year? Okay, so it's in the evening, and it might be virtual. Things might be a little different this year. It sure was in the spring, so I'm not sure, but just as soon as we get information, we'll pass that on to you. And last, 8 hours community service. Ms. Kendra talked to you about how important that is. You want to do it as close to November 3rd as that you can, and the reason that is because you want to put that on your scholarship application. If 2 people put one in and their academics exactly the same, they had the same amount of clubs, but one had community service that gave back to their community, who do you think they're going to pick? They're going to pick the one that gave back. So make sure you get that done soon. Next. So I talked to you about Tennessee Promise being last dollar. Last dollar means it pays whatever your other free aid doesn't. So I have an example of student A, student B, student C, and we're going to go through them real quick. So the tuition at community college is $22.50 a semester. So that could be higher, could be lower, but it's going to be pretty close in our area. So the first student, student A, received HOPE, Pell, and TSAA of $32.50. So look, they're getting more aid than what their tuition is. So their gap is 0. Next. So Tennessee Promise is going to be 0 because they don't owe any tuition. They are still eligible for Tennessee Promise. You still want to stay eligible because you don't know if your parent's going to get a new job and it's going to increase their income and maybe you won't receive all this aid, or maybe you won't receive TSAA. So you want to make sure you stay eligible for Tennessee Promise. So how do you stay eligible? You complete 8 hours community service every semester. Student B, the tuition again is $22.50. They're eligible for HOPE because in that earlier slide I told you that HOPE is $1,500 a semester. So they're eligible. So out of tuition they owe $750. The state wants every student to go to college and they're willing to pay for your tuition to go to a TCAT or community college tuition free. So how much will Tennessee Promise pay? Next. All of the $750. Because remember, we want you to go tuition free. Last, this student, maybe their parents made too much money on the FAFSA. You can't ever make too much money, but maybe whatever they made, they weren't eligible for Pell Grant. Pell Grant's money you don't have to pay back. That's free money. That's why we're completing that FAFSA. They didn't really like school, but they decided they wanted to try college. So maybe they didn't try as hard, so they weren't eligible for HOPE. And so their tuition cost is $22.50. So what does Promise pay? Next, they're going to get tuition free. So Tennessee Promise is going to pay the full $22.50. Next. For your public and private, I'm not going to spend a lot of time telling you all about the schools. Just remember that you can go to any of these schools, and most of these schools you can live on campus, so you can get involved in campus life and get that experience. So you can pick one of these schools and apply and get admitted and decide where you want to go. Same with the private schools. Next, so what kind of aid can you receive? Pell Grant, because you did the FAFSA. TSAA, because you did that FAFSA before February 1. And your EFC must be 3,500 or less. And that HOPE Scholarship. The HOPE Scholarship, merit-based, you must have a 21 on your ACT or a 3.0. 21 or higher, or an 3.0. And look at the amount you're going to receive. $1,750 per semester, For your first 2 years, $22.50 for your second 2 years. Next. You can get Hope supplements. The first one is GAMS. If you have a 29 on your ACT and a 3.75, you get a $500 bonus. No matter what other aid you receive, you're getting a bonus. If your parents' income is less $36,000 or less, then you can get $250 at a community college per semester. If you go to a 4-year school, you can get $750. Next. We'll skip that one, so hit twice. So this is the idea what it would cost per semester to go to a 4-year school, and as your principal said earlier, this is on the low bit. So $5,000 for tuition, housing and meals $4,500, books $750. So the cost would be around $10,250. So the student received Hope Scholarship next of $1,750. So what would your cost be? Next. $8,500. Please fill out all those scholarship applications. Next. If you go to out of state, and I don't really hear a lot of students from here going to out of state, but if you're looking at out of state, just know that the only thing you can take with you is your Pell Grant. The state money must stay in state. Next. Next, we're gonna skip this. Okay, last. The 11th and 12th graders, you can take dual enrollment. How many are taking dual enrollment? A few. So for those that are, please take them in the spring. That helps reduce the amount of classes that you have to take in college. For those who aren't, if you get admitted into Jackson State or to TCAT, you can take at least one class for free. One class helps reduce what you have to take when you graduate. So the deadline is February 1st to fill out the dual enrollment application. So for those who are not taking dual enrollment, please consider it. It's one class for free. Next. My name again is Lori Mitchum. I am your outreach specialist. I will be back, I hope, to do the FAFSA. And that is my phone number and my email. I am here for you and your parents. So if you are doing your FAFSA at night and you need to reach out to someone, please call me. If I don't hear my phone, I will call you just as soon as I see it. I promise I get back with every student and I email back every student. So if you need help and you want to do it at home, I'm here to help you. So you have a great core of people that care about whether you go to college or not. I hope you take advantage of it. And I'll turn it back over to
Thank you, Ms. Lord. All right, well, we are finishing up. Just want to reiterate, those numbers that you put up there, they're real money, not monopoly money. Real money, not monopoly money. I was actually low end earlier in the earlier group. So to go to a community college, which is a great opportunity for 2 years, that's about $10,000, $5,000 a year. Okay, I was lowballing it. So $10,000 if you want to go to Jackson State or Motlow. About $2,200 a semester, 2 semesters a year. It's about $10,000, real money. Now, it is one of the biggest mistakes in life, I would think, because we didn't have this opportunity when I was in school for Tennessee Promise. I had a lot of friends that went to community college their first year or two when they left high school, and you had to pay for it. Now, all you have to do is graduate and complete the application before November the 2nd. That's $10,000. Do not be one of those students that don't pay attention to do that. So, I would do it today. It's 30 minutes. I would do it no later than fall break. You want to be in the number of people that have that option because you don't know. Like I told you earlier, everybody has big dreams and you should dream big. Set goals high. But who's to say? If we have another outbreak or something like that, you may not want to go way across the state. You may want to stay close to home. And why not go and get your first 2 years of college free? So that's the first thing. That second number, $10,000 a year, that's $40,000 real money to go to a 4-year institution. That is a low number. There are some places that it is $40,000 a year to go to school. You do not want to be that person that is serious and really wants to go to school, but you're not taking the steps. So apply for everything, scholarships, I don't care what it is, $500, $1,000. And she told the absolute truth. There's a scholarship, and Ms. Smith, you may know the name, the one that is kind of local, that is a 4-year scholarship. It's a family. And the people who actually decide who gets it, I was on the committee one year. It's just principals in our district. It's like 2 principals and the people at the school board.
Is that Henry and Rose Fishman?
That's it, the Henry and Rose Fishman. It pays 4 years. All you have to do is, after you get it the first time, you just reapply. And there's never a lot of students to apply for in Jackson. It's only open to Jackson students, only local students, and we never have a ton of kids apply. So, when I was on the committee, they kicked me off. But I always said, oh, that kid there needs to get it. They said, well, why? He's a Northside kid. Yeah, he's a Northside kid. But that's some of these scholarships, it's just people just looking at it and say, we only had 2 applicants. Give it to them both. If it takes you an hour, but it's worth $1,000, it makes a difference. So, I kind of fussed at you guys in the beginning, but I'm not really fussing. I want to be you guys' conscience. I do not want to have any students that leave here, because when I was in school, I hate to say it, but it's the truth. We did not really have people really holding our hands and walking us through the process and telling us, sending us all kind of text messages and emails. We didn't have that. And so you was kind of like me, a little bit of a goof off, and I wasn't paying attention all the time. I just got blessed. I was fortunate. But you will not be able to leave here and say that, because I know that Ms. Smith sends you something on a weekly basis. I know that I've fussed and talked to you guys since freshman year. I know that the other counselors have worked with you. I know that we bring people in to walk you through every step. So at this point, it's up to you. Now, last thing, if you choose to sleep through the meeting, if you choose to still have a freshman mentality, life will show you better than I can tell you. But those of you guys who are listening, just get busy. Get busy, got plenty of time. That's why I told Ms. Smith, I told Ms. Springfield, we need to have this meeting before fall break. We gotta get them in here. Can't waste time, we can't wait till November. And then half of you guys miss the deadline. We gotta do it right now. So get your Tennessee Promise done, start applying for schools, start filling out scholarship applications, and if you have questions, you ask. And all I wanna hear is success stories. 4 years from now, I want to see folks graduate. I want to get graduation invitations. I want to see you in 8 years in a career, graduating law school, starting med school, whatever it is. That's all I want to hear about, because that's why we're here. So very proud of you guys. Appreciate you guys being here today. We got bonfire tonight. Cheerleaders, I'm assuming. I see a lot of y'all in here, so that means I expect you guys got a performance or something for us tonight. Is that right, Sakai? All right. Rest of you guys, I hope we are staying on track, doing what we need to do. Appreciate you being here. If you have any questions for Ms. Smith, come see her, and everybody else, we'll see you next time.